you know, as a singer, as a songwriter, as a performer, as someone who, you know, who is slowly breaking into the music industry, slowly seeing things, been seeing things. But you know, I want to talk about this because honestly, when I heard that she was in a car accident, I already felt some type of way. I just did not, something just didn't feel right about that because it was just weird. I just had a weird feeling. You know, it's not I, for me it's not every day you hear about you know, artists and entertainers being in accidents, because most of the time they make sure they have good drivers. And so, you know, it's just it just gave me a weird feeling. So now that I'm seeing this video come out, it's all making a lot more sense. But just to go ahead and get into it, this is one of Angie's last lives, and she shared some details about things that she had been finding out about, you know, her upper management over the course of the, you know, over the course of her time being an artist. And so let's just go ahead and get into it, and we'll kind of chat about it as we get to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get
Just here to let you know, I am so outdone with
if you can't hear it,
things
let me
that have been
know.
going on in and around me. And because we're at the end of 2024, I kind of just want to shut it down. Looking forward to 2025. I want y'all to go like and share, get some people on this live, mainly because I'm about to reveal some stuff that, you know, Lord just told me to talk about today. Going out of this year, going into a new year, I need to bring you guys up to speed with some things that I've kept very personal and to myself. Some things I wanted to share and other things I didn't want to share, but now I'm okay to reveal some things that is probably going to shock some people. So I'm going to give you a little bit more time to get some people in here because it was a lot for me to get on here and do this. I mean, this last month has been trying. First out, I want to shout out all the people in Detroit. I had a show that was supposed to be with Music Soul Child, Marsha Ambrosia. Shout out to Raheem Devon for standing in for me. Um, I had something happen that caused me not to be there, but God just needed to sit me down so I could focus on me. So before I go into just, you know, what I experienced, what I went through, I want to let you guys know I almost didn't make it through this process because it was something that just kind of hit me. It was a couple of days, a day or so before I was scheduled to fly out to Detroit. And I was very excited. All the tickets were bought, the hotels were paid for, the band was ready to go. And then I got hit with this uh, crazy news, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So I figured I better share it with you all and you can pass it on because just because we're in the industry doesn't mean we're not human. Things happen all the time. And unfortunately, when this happened, I just wasn't prepared for it. But anyway, it caused me to miss that show that I was super, super excited about. Go in and get somebody, come back to the live. Like I said, I don't want to have to say it again. I haven't even told my team that I was going on today. I just threw up my light and just put on a little something just so I could get with you guys. All right, we got some people in the room now. I'm gonna wait for about 10 or 15 more people to get on, and then I'll share a couple of things with you that are going to be shocking. Uh, but anyway, nonetheless, I just want to say hi to
you see her saying that She didn't even tell them that she was gonna get on. Just lets me know that, like, even if she did tell them, they was gonna probably try to stop her, because that's what happens a lot when you have things going on, or when things are going on. Um, when you try to like voice what you're going through and like what you want to do, like sometimes there are people around you that would be like, well, don't say that, just kind of like, just basically take it, um let or they'll be like, let us figure it out, and they don't ever figure it out. So I'm sure as long as Miss Angie has been in the game, that, you know at this point she's tired of hearing, let us figure it out, let us work it out, let us see what we can do. I'm sure she's tired of the let us see what we can do. Now she is like, okay, it's been so long, it's been this long, nobody's done anything, and now it's gotten worse. And I just truly hate this, because we're losing so many talented artists, especially black artists. As a black woman, as a black entertainer, this is disheartening, because you know when you're blessed with the gift and you want to be a part of this industry, this does not sit well. This is not a good um this is not good. This is not good for the industry. It's not a good look for if the industry still wants people to join it. This is not a good look. We this is not something that we want to are hoping to be a part of, if this is going to be our end result. So let's just go ahead and keep going with the video.
All the people that are joining my live. Let me just see who you are. Uh, let me see. Lady Hayes, hey there. Freeway, Rick, um, Elegant. Oh, that went too fast. I'm sorry. Hey, Lynn, uh, Miss Tiff, Quantum Guru. Merry Christmas to all of you. Jay Rossi, Denise Pretty. Um, oh, you are beautiful as well. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning from Texas. I love you guys. Thank you for, coming on my live. Like I said, y'all are in for a bit of a treat. Maybe for some people, they might be happy that it happened to me, because everybody don't wish good things for you. Some people wish bad things for you. And I continue to pray for the people in the room.
I know that's right. What she said is so 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 true. Like, a lot of people do not want to see you do well. I know Angie has been, I know, I believe, she's had some health issues. The last video I saw, it appeared that she had lost a lot of weight. Um, and was seemingly, making a comeback. I hadn't really heard from her in a while, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I'm sure that during the course of her entire career, I'm sure she's had plenty of people try to stop her, stall her, hold her back, do certain things to kind of like stifle her and stuff like that, and she's fought through it. And so it's just painful to see these type of things happen, especially in this manner. It's so blatant. They getting so bold with it now, because back in the day it used to be, um like, you really couldn't figure it out. You would question it a little bit, but you really couldn't figure it all out. So and I've experienced that too, just on a lower scale. I'm nowhere near Angie Stone status, and I have experienced so many setbacks due to people, not wanting me to be in the spotlight, feeling like I shouldn't be in the spotlight, feeling like I shouldn't have the attention that I do get, even just on social media. not even just performing or singing. They just don't want to see me go further, even if they haven't gotten to where they are yet. They don't want to see me get there before them. They don't want to see me do well. And for a long time I was afraid of admitting that because I had people around me that would make me feel as though it wasn't true, and that who are you? Like nobody's thinking about you. But that's a lie. A lot of people are thinking about you. You will be surprised who's actually thinking about you and not wanting to see you do well, low key. So I hate this. So we're just gonna keep going.
Right now, before I reveal some very, very interesting information, and it is like a double-edged sword, because I'm going to tell you one thing, and then I'm going to get to the worst thing that could possibly happen to any artist after 45 to 50 years in the business. The worst thing that could happen. Um, it has, of course, happened to me, and I'm constantly in prayer for God to forgive the people that have wished me ill will, or done anything to remotely get in the way of the gift of sharing with my fans. Okay, we're at 45. Let me get 50. Let me get 60. And I'm going to give y'all 5 more minutes to get some more people on this live. The devil is a liar. You're right. Um, Come on now. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, by the way, the Christmas song, All I'm Missing, is #1 in several countries. We put it out on the 15th of November, on the 14th of November. The devil tried to stop that. It was snatched down, then it was put back up. He tried to, of course, blame it on me, but it wasn't my fault. However, the song prevailed after everybody bailed. The song went all the way to #1 and is steadily climbing the chart. So if you guys have never heard All I'm Missing, you can go on all platforms. Apple Music made it last week. Their front page was my big old face on there. I featured Juanita Wynn and Jay Brown, who did an amazing job on helping me get through a trying time. Juanita Wynn started, she stayed on me about let's do a song, let's do a song. She's one of my best writing partners, and she convinced me to jump on this song. And she started it out, and I got in the loop, and Wynn did my verse, she did her verse, Jay Brown hummed and mummed over it, and lo and behold, it is a standard, and it's a #1 song that I think you guys will be playing every year. Okay, so if you're ready for us to go live and to get this bit of information, no, I didn't make it a secret reveal. I should have, but I will have my team post it as a reveal, because it is a secret that I'm revealing. But the latter part of the conversation is really, really crazy. Anyway, are you guys ready?
We
All right,
ready.
45. I need 5, 7. Let me see. Uh, I need 50 people in the room before I even begin to talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it until I can get, because I'm going to need each and every one of you guys after I reveal this to share this. I'm going to go ahead and send it over to my YouTube page after this, as well as my TikTok page. Anyway, what happened 2 days before my show? Whew. But God, I'm trying to keep from crying, because the devil was very, very, very particular in targeting me. But anyway, I was rushed to the hospital
Oh my God.
because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out, I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream, and caused a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU and I went to use the restroom and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious. When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I need to be calling him by his name. So I began to scream his name. When they brought me to is when they told me I was lucky to be alive because I was on the floor. And sorry. I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated and God healed me, cleared up. After 2 weeks, solid, they cleared up the blood infection. I'm just here to let you know the only reason I hadn't been on my live and just getting with y'all on this because I had to get postured with God one-on-one. Sometimes God will make you stand still. When you're doing the most you can for everyone, he will stand you still so that your complete focus can be on him. God he knew that I was about to come into some things. And as I began to come back to myself completely, I remembered everything that I was working on. I remember the people that were in my immediate circle that were supposed to be there to help me. By the time it was all said and done, the Christmas song had been snatched down. For what reason? I wasn't in a position to really fight that. I had to fight to live. So I couldn't worry about that because I knew that it would take care of itself, but not without the devil trying to blame me for the mishap. Lo and behold, I won't call any names, but people quit on me because they thought it was me. Like I said, I can't call any names because I'm not that vicious. I don't want to hurt anybody, and I really don't want it to be their downfall. But I will tell you, people left me in that dark, dark moment when I really needed support. My kids were there for me. My true friends were there for me because they knew this is serious. They thought that blood infection would have damaged my heart, so I went into a lot of testing to make sure there was not heart scarring. Lo and behold, all of that came out fine. I was not scarred by the heart, thank God. But the staph infection was supposed to scar the heart and the lungs, and it cleared up, thank God. So I just wanted to be transparent with you all because I don't always have it all the way together. But I'm a hard worker. You know, I play hardball, but I love twice as hard. And because I do love my fans, and especially shout out to Raheem Devon, who got on the stage in Detroit that night in my place, and he had the entire audience say, "Get well soon." He called me, "Sis, what's going on?" And when he found out, he said, "I got you." So I owe you one, bro. I owe you one. But meanwhile, back at the ranch was as I was coming through all of this, I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things uh, to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot, excuse me, guys, a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. Uh, as I begin to find out things that I never had to look into, because when you hire a team of people that to some degree supposed to have your back, you're thinking that they're getting it all together for you. You know, that's why, you know, I respect Oprah Winfrey in that respect when she said, do your own research. Just Stone, the celebrity, that I let a lot of important things slip through the cracks only because I didn't know any better. I worked very hard to take care of my kids as a single mother, and I'm being transparent. My kids' fathers just were not doing doing what they're supposed to do. So I had to step up and go in and do everything that I needed to do to for my family, which is why I worked so hard, which is why I traveled so much, which is why I did shows, because at the end of the day, after 40 something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties,
Wow.
all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due
They
to me.
stole it.
They have basically absorbed in that company. And even though there's several,
They stole your money. They stole her money. And I hate how that even then she just, she tried not to use the word stolen, but they stole it. They stole her money. They stole her money. Um, and I feel so bad because that's usually how it happens. Most artists, they have teams, they get people that's supposed to be, taking care of business on the back end so they can worry about, being an artist and things like that. But as we get, you know, as we keep finding out things about the industry, we just at a time where you can't even hire a team. You can't even trust them to like handle your business for you because they were the ones that should have been handling the business correctly and making sure that all the books were straight and making sure that she was getting her royalties and things like that. Now, as artists, we have to be concerned with the business and the music. And it's a tough job. And I'm not even gonna lie, me just being an independent artist, like it's hard. People don't even understand, like, y'all get to the concerts and we have fun, we sing and things like that. But on the back end, it's extremely hard. It's difficult, especially when you're dealing with things like this where people that you have around you, you're thinking that they're your friends or you're thinking that they're supporting you or that they are having your best interests at heart, and they really don't. They're on the back end, doing things on the side, and you're thinking that they're doing what they're supposed to do, and you only to find out years later that you know just like in Angie's case, somebody has been messing with the books. Somebody been messing with her royalties. And now they're all tied up in another company. And by the time you figure it out, you have to go through so many legalities. You have to fight so hard to get it back when you should have never had to fight in the beginning. So I just hate this for her because, you know, I'm sure she thought she was doing what was best. And like she said, I didn't know any better. And that's a lot of artists, that's the mistake that we make, is that we don't know. We're trying to do so many things. We're trying to get it done quickly. We're trying to get back to the music. We're trying to perform. So we allow a team or a manager or an agent to come in, thinking that they have our best interests at heart, and come to find out they don't. We spend so much time on the music that we don't realize that, like, these people, they're in business for themselves, and their business is preying on the fact that maybe this artist don't know what they're talking about. Maybe this artist don't know what they're doing. Maybe they'll never ask. Maybe they're too interested in performing. Maybe they're hoping that you're so interested in just being an artist that you don't really care what goes on the back end. And many artists don't care, but a lot of artists, Angie Stone is a grown woman, so she got mouths to feed, kids to take care of. She's not just an artist who is just out here young, wild, and free and having fun and just let me perform. This isn't the old days. So I hate I'm just this just sucks, because it seemed like she been going through this for a while. Spiritual attacks, getting sick and things like that. And who knows what her illnesses, how they came about, because you just never know. People could have been poisoning her. There could have been so many different things going on. You just don't even know how sinister some of these situations are, and I just, it appears that she has a great relationship with the Lord, because she just said, when it happened, she just started calling on the name of Jesus. And honestly, sometimes a lot of times that's what you got to do in order to fight off some of these spiritual attacks, some of these monitoring spirits, some of these people who are actively praying on your downfall, and wishing that don't progress. So let's see what else she had to say.
Class action lawsuits, people that were working on my behalf never even registered the songs. All the songs that I've done, I'm only coming to find out they were not properly registered by the companies that I signed over to.
Wow.
People that were supposed to do their due diligence. So I'm truly a walking testimony that God has carried me all this time. Because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly.
Wow.
But there are key people that have been driving the ships. And what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything. What I learned how to do was go out, work hard, get paid, come home, pay my bills, take care of my family. That part. The legal side, when you hire attorneys and managers and agents, they're supposed to make sure the gray area over there that they're in the driver's seat for, they're supposed to make sure you're taken care of. And even though they were taking care of themselves, they thought very little of taking care of me. And I know because I've seen it with my own eyes. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money. I mean, when you sit back and think Bruno Mars, Dr. Dre. When you think about all these people that have sampled music, if they're filthy rich on it, what's our problem? Or my problem? Oh yeah. So you got to get a diesel crew, and I call them a diesel crew, to go in and rectify the issue, because evidently all the time that I've been working through things, they didn't get. I'll tell them on my live, please. Okay. Give it to me. Give me your phone.
I was trying to call her to stop her from talking. Every time her audio go out, I'm sure there was somebody calling her phone, but that's pretty much what happens in these situations. People start calling trying to stop you from, saying what you need to say. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, Miss Angie, God rest her soul, she made a bold move, by taking to social media and directly addressing UMG. Universal Music Group is a very, very, very large company. And I believe the Lucianne Grange, who's been a part of a lot of headlines lately, is a part of that company. So it was a very bold move for Angie to call out UMG for basically stealing all of her royalties. And those type of call outs, they don't take those lightly, and on the one hand, I commend her for doing what she needed to do by publicly addressing it so it's out there in the open. But honestly, on the other hand, we have seen time and time and time and time again what happens when artists, when entertainers, when business people call out these big companies, these big corporations for their improper practices, for, their illegal activities, for their discrepancies, for their thievery. And it almost always never ends well for the person who calls them out. Over the years we have lost so many artists, so many icons, because they have called out one of these companies. They have addressed, discrepancies that they have found with their music, with their masters, with their royalties. And suddenly we no longer have them with us. And a lot of people, including myself, feel like something nefarious has gone on. Even though, and some people will say, well, how is it that she was in a Sprinter van full of people, and she was the only person that just ultimately ended up passing away? I can't explain that. you know I really truly cannot explain that. But what I will say is that because a lot of people don't believe that this type of stuff happens. They just refuse to believe that. Why would somebody just want to take Angie Stone out? Why not? Why not? She's an award-winning singer. She's an award-winning artist. I'm sure she has made a lot of money for a lot of people over the years, including herself. Like she said, her focus was, working hard, getting her money, coming home, paying her bills, and taking care of her family. So if she was able to do all of that, I'm sure off the back of the music, there's been a lot of money that has been made. So I'm sure that there has been a lot of money that's owed to her that's now, in somebody else's pockets. So I can't explain the accident, but the thing about it is when they want to take one person out, they don't care who they got to take out that's around you. And I'm glad that nobody else was harmed, but that's just the reality of it, is that these when they start doing stuff like this, they don't care about if it's a mass casualty. The target is what they're worried about. They don't care about who's around the target at the time. They focus, their focus is that. And if the target is somebody who constantly has people around them, or they make sure that they are protected at all times, they got to get creative. You just never know. But like I said, like me and so many other people, we it's some in the water ain't clean, and I think that, dare I say it, Miss Angie had already said that, it's been several attacks made on her life. So I think that she already knew that they were gonna keep trying, they were gonna keep coming. So she had to make it known, these people stole from me. And I commend her, because in my time as an independent artist, I've been stolen from. I've had things happen to me that I've wanted to boldly get on, make sure I address to where a lot of people would be exposed to what actually happened. But out of fear, I never said anything because of what I felt or thought would happen to me if I were to speak on it. And a lot of times that's what a lot of these companies, a lot of these people, a lot of these janky promoters, a lot of these shady businessmen, a lot of these lawyers, that's what they bank on. They bank on you being afraid of what's going to happen if you speak out, because there's been so many instances of what will happen if you speak out. So it was very bold of her to do this, and I do hate this because we don't have, you know, we don't have her with us anymore. We're not able to go, we're not able to go to another concert ever again. And I'm pretty sure we have plenty of years left with her if this not had not have happened. So I just really hate this because this did not have to happen this way. And I just feel so bad because one part that really rang out to me is when she said that they're going to have to pay her for her legacy. And they're so sinister. I say they're, you know who I'm talking about, but they're so sinister that I'm sure they was like, yeah, and for your legacy you will pay. And now her legacy, which is her children, now her family is going to have to fight for what was owed to her. And that's a lot to take on. She said she was getting a diesel crew. I hope that same diesel crew, her family can now get with them and try to get what was owed to her, because I'm sure now they're just expecting for the family to kind of just throw their hands up and say, well, we're grieving, forget about it, don't worry about it. And they don't, they continue on business as usual. Because a lot of times when they take out these artists and stuff like that, they have insurance policies on them. And, then they still, even after death, they still making money off of these songs, off of this music. And they know now that she's passed, her streams and her listens and her follows and things on these music listening sites are gonna skyrocket. And so they're really not gonna get any money off of this now. So I really hope that she already had the team in place. I really hope that there was already a team working on her behalf to start facilitating the process of trying to get the money that was owed to her. And honestly, I feel like, regardless of whatever diesel crew this is or whatever crew this is that's going to work on that, they were going to have to work really hard, because I just don't, I'm not really sure if I know of any instances where an artist has fought against the machine, because that's what this is. I'm just not seeing where an artist has fought against the machine and won and came out unscathed. So I'm really hoping that her family is able to you know, fight for and receive what was taken from her, and get and receive what's rightfully theirs, because honestly, you know, it's if it's owed to her, she need her estate, her family, they need what's owed to her. Do I think that they're gonna get it? I don't, because you know, these companies have these they have these plans so airtight, you know. So, you know, I'm praying that they're able to get what was owed to Miss Stone, but I'm not sure. You know, I don't think so. And and I just hate that this had to end this way. Um but like I said, we've seen this happen time and time again. So let's go ahead and finish this live. And well, we're gonna close this thing on out. So
I'm sorry. So just to be clear, just to be clear, I can't say it over live. Give me your phone. I just want everybody. Come on, Journey. I'm on the line. My granddaughter trying to help me, and she's slow as Christmas. Your thing went off. Anyway, go get from Shayna. Yeah. So with that being said, shout out to Van Silk. I know you didn't know this was coming, but I had to be transparent. I would try to take as many questions as I can. Let me see. Universal Music, call me. Keys join. Kathy Smith smiles. Yes, sis, get your diesel crew and go tear that. Okay. Yes, I plan on doing that. The music industry is horrible when they tell you that, you know, it's not a straight line. You know, I've been one to kind of play fair. I stay out of harm's way. You know, I can't avoid trouble always, because I'll tell you this, no matter who we hook up with and how we hook up, they're always going to make it confrontational when it doesn't suit their liking. But I don't care about that. I got to pass all of that. But everybody that works hard for all 50 years should be able to retire in peace, should be able to sit back without looking for your money. So I got a team of people, a diesel crew, that's really trying to help me navigate things. And if I never get it, at least you heard it from me, because I don't know what they might do to keep from paying me all the money they owe me. Okay.
mm-hmm.
All the money they owe me. It's ridiculous that someone has played with my life and my career for this long for their own benefit. I mean, have you no conscience? There's a special place in hell, just like my girl Selena said, for people like that. There's a brick wall waiting out there for hard heads. And I promise you, God said, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. So even in this hour, I'm going to pray for you, because I know that God
That's
said
real.
that he will fight my battles if I would just endure to the end. So I'm definitely going to get that. And I don't want nobody to be upset with me. I don't care what they think about me. I just want people to know that when you get in this industry, there are so many twists and turns. And even though you have the Almighty God with you, they still going to try you. Because just because I believe in God don't mean they believe in God. They don't believe in God. So
Right.
they think I'm a fool and a bunch of other people, because we love hard, we give hard, we go, but it don't mean we stupid. Okay? Well, on that note, look, guys, I'm going to take a break. I just wanted to share with you guys. If you got any questions, let me see. Are you open to working with new producer? Absolutely. I got a project I'm working on right now. And I'm just in a good way, because with having a number one single. Oh Lord, did I do something?
Oh, you flipped it right there.
Take it back. With having a new single that's climbing up the charts at number one territorial wide.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it right there because it seems as if she was just basically just saying that like she had new music on the way and working on new music because of the last single that she put out for Christmas. And I love that, but I hate that we won't get to hear majority of that music because she has unfortunately departed from us. And like she was saying towards the end of the live, when you get in the music industry, especially when you come into the music industry and you either grew up in the church or you do have some type of spirituality or faith based morals and things like that, you slowly start to realize that, money, the love of money and greed makes people do a lot of things. And there are a lot of evil people in these industries. It's not just the music industry, but that's what we're talking about right now. But there are a lot of evil people that are making their way through the music industry, and they don't care anything about you. They don't care anything about your family. All it's about is how much money can we make off of you. And a lot of times, especially as black people, and especially as a black woman, I know firsthand that a lot of people will treat you as if you don't know anything. They will automatically assume that you're stupid. They will talk down to you. They will try to pull the wool over your eyes. They will try to run any type of game on you. And it's up for you to advocate for yourself, regardless of what it may look like. A lot of times I've tried to stand up for myself and I've been labeled the difficult one. I've declined to do things. I've stopped things. And it's been made to be as it's my fault, or she's hard to deal with, or you can't really tell her anything. No, because I am going to ask questions. They hate when you ask questions. When you start asking too many questions, they start feeling some type of way because they feel like, okay, why is she asking so many questions? What is it that she knows? What is it that they know already? Especially when they come into it thinking you don't know anything. So when you shock them and let them know, well, hey, that's not how it really works. That's not how we've done it in the past. So what is this about? Then they start feeling like, okay, they know too much. They know too much. We got to get them out of here. We can't let this person know too much, and they in the industry. They gon' Who else they gonna tell? Because that's really what it's about. Is when one person knows a lot, they go and tell other people, hey, just so this particular company, they do things X like this. Or so by Angie coming out and publicly saying, hey, Universal Music Group stole my money and you owe me, and you're going to pay me what you owe. What a bold statement. I love that for her, but what a bold statement to make it, that you're going to pay me what you owe. I wish it was that simple. I do. I wish it was as simple as saying, y'all stole from me and not pay me my money. But it's just not that simple. So I truly, truly hate that it has come to this. I would, in a perfect world, I would have loved to see Angie, come out, make this bold declaration, which honestly, I feel like if she was going to start doing this, she may have needed to back off from performing, because honestly, it's not just Universal Music Group. It's a trickle down situation because Universal Music Group, that's where it probably ends at because that's who has the money. But there are a lot of hands before you get to UMG. So, now she would have had to go, retrace her steps and figure out who else knew about this, who else knew what was going on, or probably figured out what was going on before I did and never said anything, because that's the sad reality of it. That's one of the realities that I had to come to grips with, is that yeah, this person, I may be having problems with this promoter, but some of the people that I know this person, so they already knew what was going on. So you have to kind of figure out who is around you that knows what's happening or knew what's happening, so you can kind of see when the problem started, how it started, who knew what, who did what, who touched what, who signed what paper. So I'm sure it would have been a big thing to take on, but some things must be done, and I hate that we won't be able to see, we don't get to see this thing through, because I know Angie, the way she called them out, I'm sure she would have fought for what she was owed. And I know that the music community, and even her fans would share this message. She asked us to share the message, and that's what we're doing. This is my first time hearing about it. I wish that we had heard about it sooner, or that we were more proactive in actually sharing this message. But this is very shocking. Even though it's not uncommon, it's very shocking, that she made these statements, and I believe it. I believe her. This is not anything that we're trying to figure out. Do we believe her? We believe her. We know that this is true. We know that this has happened, because this happens to so many artists, so many Black artists. And I know she mentioned that these other artists, they're millionaires, they do a lot of sampling and they become millionaires. But what we don't realize is that a lot of these artists are playing the game. If you choose to play by the game, you choose to reap the rewards that the game will provide. But if you choose to stand boldly on your morals and your values, and you do not want to be, pimped out by the system. You don't want to be pimped out by the music industry. You want to have a sense of, independence, as an artist and as an entertainer. These are the things that you are going to face. You're going to face people trying to rob you blind, literally, because they feel like this is what you deserve for not wanting to play our game, for not wanting to just lay down and let us, instead of you sticking it to the man, they want to stick it to you. They want to make sure that they get as much money from you as possible. And if they cannot get it from you while you are alive, they will surely get it from you in your death. Because like I said, most of these companies have insurance policies out the wazoo on all of these artists. And even if they pass away, they have it set up to where they still will be compensated and reap um royalties and money off of these artists well after they have gone on, and their families are left to pick up the pieces. So I really hope that her family is able to fight for and receive what she is owed, because I don't even know the number, but I know that when she said they took a lot of money from her, I can believe it. And her family needs to be compensated. As she put it, her legacy. It's just the irony of her saying they're gonna pay me for my legacy, and this is what happens. This is where we end up at. That now, truly, her this is what we have left, is her legacy. Um, the irony in those words is haunting me. And I'm sure it haunts other people, because it's so sudden, it's so tragic, it's heartbreaking, because you know we don't really, these are artists I grew up on. So for them not to be here, or for things like this to happen, it is just gut wrenching that we have that this is what it's come to, all over some money. all of the things that should have been taken care of. That if she hired a lawyer or a team to do a job, why didn't you do your job? Somebody hired you to do a job, to take care of their books, to make sure they got their royalties, to make sure they got their money. You accept the job and you still don't do right. That's just it just takes us back to, sometimes at this point now, we just gonna have to start doing stuff for ourselves. Um and making sure we have our hands in everything, looking at everything, making sure we see what goes on with everything, because you just never know these days. You just never know. You thinking you're doing right by making sure you get a team. They always tell you, oh, get somebody to handle your books for you. Get somebody to, handle the business end for you. Sure, that sounds nice, but what, you getting somebody to handle the business for you that you think is a reputable company, and then now, years later, you finding out they took all your money. So what good does it do? So y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this situation. We have lost a icon. This is one of the artists that that I grew up on. I'm in my 30s, so I grew up on Angie Stone and all of them. So this is just tragic that this is where we at, right in the first of the year. So y'all let me know in the comments what you think about what Angie Stone shared, what you think about the situation. I do know that there were some that did go to the hospital, but I believe everybody survived. It was reported that there may have been children on the van. So either way, I believe that everybody else is okay, but I just, I hate this. I'm praying for everybody that was involved. Praying for Angie's family. I know that her children have been speaking out and saying things, but I really just wanted to come in and watch the last the Instagram video and just kind of talk about what she was talking about, as far as like the things that were happening on the back end between her and the business people and Universal Music Group. Because like I said, as an independent artist, and someone who hasn't gotten as far in the music industry, I do want to make sure that other artists and other aspiring artists know this is what may happen, because we like to be dazzled by the glitz and the glamour and the shiny dresses and shiny shoes and money and things like that. But a lot of us don't really realize that on the business end, on the back end, when you get to certain things and doing certain things, you never really realize for real how sinister it gets. So make sure you like this video, share this video, subscribe, click the notification bell so that you don't miss another video or a live. And drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this situation. Do you think that there was something nefarious going on? Do you think that there was something deeper at hand, as far as her calling out Universal Music Group? And tell me what you feel about it, and let's have a chat in the comments. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. If you watch the live stream or if you're watching it on the playback, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.